28. Sariputta Samyutta, Discourses concerning the Venerable Sariputta. 28.1. On one occasion, the Venerable Sariputta was dwelling at Savatthi in Jeta's Grove, Anathapindika Spa. Then in the morning, the Venerable Sariputta dressed and taking bowl and robe, entered Savatthi for alms. Then when he had walked for alms in Savatthi and had returned from the alms round, after his meal, he went to the blind man's grove for the day's abiding. Having plunged into the blind man's grove, he sat down at the foot of a tree for the day's abiding. Then in the evening, the Venerable Sariputta emerged from seclusion and went to Jeta's Grove, Anathapindika Spa. The Venerable Ananda saw the Venerable Sariputta coming in the distance and said to him, "Friend Sariputta, your faculties are serene, your facial complexion is pure and bright. In what dwelling has the Venerable Sariputta spent the day?" And Venerable Sariputta replied, "Here, friend, secluded from sensual pleasures, secluded from unwholesome states, I entered and dwelt in the first jhana, which is accompanied by thought, directed and sustained, with delight and happiness born of seclusion. Yet, friend, it did not occur to me, I am attaining the first jhana, or I have attained the first jhana, or I have emerged from the first jhana." And Venerable Ananda said, "It must be because I-making, mind-making, and the underlying tendency to conceit have been thoroughly uprooted in the Venerable Sariputta for a long time, that such thoughts did not occur to him." That's the end of the sutta. So here, Sariputta, like a lot of arahants, they spend their day meditating, abiding in the jhana. So for him in this sutta, he says that the whole day, most of the day, he was abiding in the first jhana. But because he's arahant with no self, he does not think, I am attaining the first jhana, or abiding in the first jhana, or have emerged from the first jhana. He has no self. So Venerable Ananda praised him that for a long time he has cut the conceit, the I am. That's why he can be like that. So the other suttas are similar to this. Is that Venerable Sariputta spends the day in the different types of jhana. In the second sutta, he spent the whole day in the second jhana. In the third sutta, he spent the day in the third jhana. In the fourth sutta, he spent the day in the fourth jhana, fourth rupa jhana. The fifth sutta, Venerable Sariputta spent the day in the base of infinity of space, boundless space, which is the first arupa jhana. Then the sixth sutta, he spent the day in the second arupa jhana. The seventh sutta, he spent the day in the third arupa jhana, the base of nothingness. In the eighth sutta, he spent the day in the fourth arupa jhana, the base of neither perception nor non-perception. In the ninth sutta, he spent the day in the cessation. I'll read this ninth sutta, similar as before. And Venerable Sariputta replied to Venerable Ananda, "Here, friend, by completely transcending the base of neither perception nor non-perception, I entered and dwelt in the cessation of perception and feeling. Yet, friend, it did not occur to me, I am attaining the cessation of perception and feeling, or I have attained the cessation of perception and feeling, or I have emerged from the cessation of perception and feeling." And Venerable Ananda similarly praised him. "It must be because I-making, mind-making, and the underlying tendency to conceit have been thoroughly uprooted in the Venerable Sariputta for a long time, that such thoughts did not occur to him." That's the end of the sutta. So you see, all these suttas up to this number 9, you find Venerable Sariputta abiding in all the different types of jhana, including the highest, the state of cessation or The cessation is the cessation of perception and feeling, which also means cessation of consciousness. Now, the later books, they say that the Venerable Sariputta was liberated by wisdom, and the understanding of liberation by wisdom is that the monk did not attain any jhana. But you can see from here that even though Venerable Sariputta attained liberation by wisdom, yet he has all the jhanas. Only thing is, even though he has all the jhanas, he does not have psychic power, unlike some of the other monks. 28.10. On one occasion, the Venerable Sariputta was dwelling at Rajagaha in the bamboo grove, the squirrel sanctuary. Then in the morning, the Venerable Sariputta dressed and taking bowl and robe entered Rajagaha for alms. Then when he had walked for alms on continuous alms round in Rajagaha, he ate that alms food leaning against a certain wall. Stop here for a moment. You see, he walked. This is mentioned here, he walked for alms on continuous alms round. Continuous alms round means he goes from house to house. He does not select houses. Or there's a rich guy and they go to his house to get good food. He doesn't think like that. It doesn't matter whether the house is rich or poor. He goes house to house. But later books, like Mahayana books, they say that a monk is only supposed to beg from maximum of 7 homes. This is mentioned in the Theravada books as an external sect ascetic practice. This is not a Buddhist practice. It is practiced by external sect ascetics. In the Buddha's Vinaya, a monk can go to any number of houses until he gets enough food for his meal. So Venerable Sariputta was eating his food by the side of a wall. Then the female wanderer, Suchi Mukhi, approached the Venerable Sariputta and said to him, "Ascetic, do you eat facing downwards?" And he said, "I don't eat facing downwards, sister." Then, "Ascetic, do you eat facing upwards?" And he said, "I don't eat facing upwards, sister." Then, "Ascetic, do you eat facing the 4 quarters?" "I don't eat facing the 4 quarters, sister." Then, "Ascetic, do you eat facing the intermediate directions?" "I don't eat facing the intermediate directions, sister." And the female wanderer asked him, "When you are asked, 'Ascetic, do you eat facing downwards? Do you eat facing upwards, etc.?' you reply, 'I don't eat thus, sister.' Then how do you eat, ascetic?" The Venerable Sariputta replied, "Sister, those ascetics and Brahmins who earn their living by the debased art of geomancy," that means feng shui, a wrong means of livelihood, these are called ascetics and Brahmins who eat facing downwards. Those ascetics and Brahmins who earn their living by the debased art of astrology, a wrong means of livelihood, those are called ascetics and Brahmins who eat facing upwards. Those ascetics and Brahmins who earn their living by undertaking to go on errands and run messages, a wrong means of livelihood, these are called ascetics and Brahmins who eat facing the 4 quarters. Those ascetics and Brahmins who earn their living by the debased art of palmistry, fortune telling, a wrong means of livelihood, these are called ascetics and Brahmins who eat facing the intermediate directions. Sister, I do not earn my living by such wrong means of livelihood as the debased art of geomancy, or the debased art of astrology, or by undertaking to go on errands and run messages, or by the debased art of palmistry. I seek alms food righteously, and having sought it, I eat my alms food righteously. Then the female wanderer, Suchi Mukhi, went from street to street and from square to square in Rajagaha, announcing, "The ascetics, following the Sakyan son, eat righteous food. They eat blameless food. Give alms food to the ascetics, following the Sakyan son." That's the end of the sutta. Sakyan son here is Sakya Putta. That means referring to the Buddha. So here you can see that in the original Buddha's teachings, all these are wrong means of livelihood. That means practicing geomancy, feng shui, hong sui, or practicing astrology, or running errands for lay people, or fortune telling. All these are wrong means of livelihood. A monk practices right livelihood when he practices the Noble Eightfold Path according to the Buddha's teachings, and not getting food in these wrong ways. But unfortunately nowadays some monks do some of these things. So the female wanderer was so impressed by Venerable Sariputta. He went around asking lay people to give food to the Buddha's disciples.